many of you think about the QA is like destructive mind, not constructive mind? Okay. I mean, by person, I'm very much positive, very constructive person. And I land into testing job, right? So, and, I'm like saying how I can break the code and how I can break the software. I'm like so much positive about it, right? And that's where this testing career begins with the manual testing, right? That's how we start back in 20 years back, right? So I started my career in 2006 with MNC company as a tester in Mumbai city, crowded city, right? Yeah. And that's where my journey begins, the testing. Now, I have went through a lot of phases in testing like manual, ETL, then automation, then cloud came into picture. So my majorly today topic would be from framework side to moving to the cloud side, and then already a lot of topic has been covered on the AI side, so I'll not touch upon the AI, but there are a space where scripting will be done using AI, right? So that's something I'll cover a little bit in the last, but I'll majorly cover the automation framework and cloud most likely. Yes? That's my topic altogether. So I just about myself, right? I'm Santosh. I'm also author of the book called Born to Teach, which is available in Amazon, India, and US as well. It happened in last year, November 2024. I'm based out of Hyderabad right now, but I'm originally from Jharkhand. That's about me. You can follow me LinkedIn, K. Santosh Modi. I'll share the last. That's something available there in the PPT as well. My journey started as a QA, and in this journey, right, I faced a lot of ups and downs, right? I remember I was working in Cognizant in 2015-16 time, where there were downfall in terms of who will have the lead because we were doing testing, right? And then pushed to go to different location, travel to Pune from Hyderabad, stayed for 6 months, came back here. And I was feeling that QA is not that much lucrative, and still today is a proof, right, for all of us we have here. We are here that QA still exists, right? I was also meeting one nice person while traveling to Saudi Arabia. He was representing to NASCOM, by the way, and he was saying, no more QA will be there, no more testing will be there. And still we can see the proof here, TestingMind conducting globally the QA conferences. So, and hats off to the TestingMind, presenting that QA still exists, testing is still required, important for every company, every client as well, right? So when I ask question, right, is QA constructive or is it destructive? My only agenda to ask this question is, when we test any software or anything, matter of fact, right, make sure that users should experience seamlessly, right? That's the only agenda of testing the software, not to break the software. Of course, during this journey, we break the software as well, right? I know one person who was working in Infosys for 3 years. He worked. We met in Wells Fargo, and he said, in 3 years, don't know whether it was fact or not, but he's saying like every smoke test is to fail the software, and like none of the software went to release. Maybe it was internal project, but that's called breaking capability as well, right? What the lead testers have it. But more important than making the software seamlessly, smoothness, easy to use by end user. That's something called as a testing, which which basically I bring from my definition point of view. So I started my QA journey with the manual testing, ETL testing, and so on. Then came to automation, and I'll not talk about AI as I said. So I'll be talking more on framework side. And let me talk about the evolution of test automation framework. I started late automation in my career. I was doing more in ETL, and ETL also has automation where we talk about more on data side. But let me give you walk through the approach of testing framework, right? So we have two approaches. One is called core approach, where we had like linear, keyword-driven models and do the scripting part of it, right? Where back in 2010, I remember where Java developers, right, used to do automation, and tester used to use those keywords to automate them. That was the time, where manual tester thinking that no coding is possible from tester point of view, and Selenium came through the only coding part. Still, my teammates, team members are working Wipro. They have been pulled to Microsoft project to do Selenium automation in C# language. So still developers they do automation as well because of the language barrier. So that time Java developers used to do this automation most of the thing, and then they used to create a keywords, and that's how we used to do manual testing. Used to use those keywords, and nowadays everything is keyword driven because of more usability from the non-technical person. Also, they can do automation. We had some limitation. We have pros cons also. Like different maintenance will be difficult. Again, you have to dependency on the developer. They have to come and correct all these things, right? So that was the limitation. But now, if you look at the shift towards the hybrid automation, where we have integrating with a lot of AI tool. Sorry, not AI tool, but a lot of automation tool, right? Not AI, but a lot of framework has been come across. Like TestNG is one of the very good unit test framework which is being developed, and we are using. They're all open source, and we also using like data-driven framework. We're using keyword-driven framework, and another framework also has come across which is called Cucumber, or Serenity, which is called ability-based framework, where even writing the test cases also is easy, not to have that kind of test case design which you have to do using Gherkin language. So these are the different framework also came across while automation evolving, right? Where tester also started involving into the test automation. I remember in Cognizant in 2014-15 time where we used to have a COE, right? Every company they used to have a center of excellence team for automation or different sector as well, right? But nowadays I think everyone dissolved this all COE team, and now everyone doing everything. I still remember one person was doing only automation. Client asked him to do manual plus automation both, and he was approaching me, Santosh, you do manual part and I do automation part. But that's the era we are living right now. Everyone should do everything. So that's the evolution of hybrid framework. I think everyone is using this right now, even though in AI space. I'm working in service industry all the time, right? So I know that as per my experience, what I've gone through is a lot of buzzwords are coming up about AI and all, but it's still real project, right? We are developing the Selenium automation. I mean, I delivered recently 3.5 years mobile automation. We did completely into Selenium. Still we are using them. Different framework has been used, and migrating to different projects as well, right? So that's something shift towards the habit framework, but we are using it. A lot of framework also has come like Catalan. I was using Robo framework as well, which is completely keyword-driven framework. I joined a project which is I was completely new to Robo framework, and then I joined. Very quick learning because it was all keyword-driven framework. So they are the different approach of hybrid framework what we are talking about here. We all know that. Then, as CI/CD came in, DevOps came inside. So that's where we're talking about the utilizing these all Jenkins and GitHub, and now GitHub Actions also came to talk about this continuous integration, continuous deployment, which is called CI/CD. And we are doing continuous testing as well, right, till it will go to production. So it's not new, but I'm just reminding you that this is what we are currently experiencing, that when we do automation, it also till deployment it will happen automatically, but still we do human intervention in between to automate them and then execute them and then get ready for deployment as well, right? So CI/CD is one of the very much integral part of the DevOps where automation plays very key role. In fact, a developer also uses the test automation script to make sure that everything is working fine, and then it will go to production, right? So that's where tester lies, automation lies as well in the current market, right? I'm talking about the DevOps integration, about the CI/CD and with the automation framework as well. Moving to the again AI anyway. So lot of tools also available here as part of AI tools. I was exploring a couple of AI tools, not really used in the real time. Still recommending to use some AI tools in the real time application in the project, but still have not been used, but I have been exploring. So there are something called smart scripting tool. I was exploring another tool called TestingMind. Basically The other AI tool which is going to give you automated script. Just give the as a English prompt, and if it is a stage environment, you can give them URL, you can give them credential if credential required, and then it will generate the automated script, and also it will run, and it will give you a screenshot as well. Currently, we're experiencing one of the tool called Jira. I think everyone knows about Jira as a agile tool, and in that tool we have a lot of test management tool as well as apps. On top of Jira, it lies there. We're discussing one of my colleagues here sitting there, and that some of the tools can be used in the Jira, which can give you very good reports. And I think I need to explore more. But one of the tools in testing side in Agile, which is being used, Zephyr. Very recently, they launched one of the AI feature there called Test Automate, and you design your test cases in Zephyr along with the Jira stories and all, right. So to have a very good coverage, you can use Zephyr with the Jira. And Zephyr itself, when you write your test cases step by step, and you can say, hey, test automate. Now, the capability of Zephyr is, they've come across is, because test case is simple English language, right? I mean, we all write like, verify, do this step, no expected result, and so on, right? And that is not a standard something, right? Everyone write their own way of writing it. Should be understandable and doable by someone else also. But Zephyr, they come across some protocol has to be followed. So based on that, they're also correcting your steps and testing that software. If you give URL, if you give the which platform you're testing, let's say even it is website, you can select like mobile or desktop or a tab, right? And you can give the browser, because whatever browser you're opening, it will take by default. It corrects your test cases. It also tests your software, capture the screenshot, and give the result. Still, it is a lot of scope, I think, is there, which is that they need to improve. But I think everywhere they are implementing the AI tools to ease our job. But still, we are not replacing the tester capability, because the thought process towards the thinking about edge cases, edge scenario, that's something AI cannot think of, which human can think of. Now we are talking about the industry revolution about AI, right? I mean, I'm working with customer through Wipro, and they bought one AI tool called WinSurf now, which is called as a Podium, similar to GitHub Copilot. And GitHub Copilot is similar to Podium. They started giving them training. They took the license, and they're saying, hey, you have to use this tool to reduce the efforts of 20% reduction. Of course, indirectly going to be impact the manpower reduction, right? So they said either you give 20% flat discount or reduce the 20% manpower. So we were able to convince the customer that okay, we just started using Podium, and then we may be able to do like 10-15%. So we come to negotiate like 12% reduction in the manpower. So why I'm covering this topic is simple to understand that cannot be replaced 100%, but yes, the productivity can be increased. That's something AI is doing it in development side, testing side as well, right? And that's where even testing tools are also coming up. That as a tester, you create test cases, which is time consuming. But still, right, if you give test cases like as AI prompt will do a lot of things, right? But when you give the application, when you give the context, when you give the right prompt also, the person who are tester who can think of many scenarios which AI will not cover. I mean, I've been challenging this, okay, to a lot of forum as well. I joined a lot of forums. I'm challenging this to a lot of forum that how much AI will evolve, but 100% replacement is not possible, and that's where human still exists. But yes, a lot of productivity can be increased, right? To do the test case design, to do the execution, taking the screenshot, right? I mean, mostly in regression testing, we generally face the challenge that we have to capture all the screenshot as a proof and evidence. So these are the tools are available, and where we can do mobile automation, we can do web-based application automation as well. So yes, self-healing script also is there where many changes are happening. Let's say Selenium integrate with Apply tools, where sometimes human error mostly going to be ignored, right? I mean, human generally ignore the sometimes like UI issues, right? Like design says something else, and your actual application says something else. And many times we ignore, okay, little bit change here and there, right? So, but there is an Apply tools has come across, is again AI based visual testing tool, right? Also it is at the Selenium page if you look at. And that something compares, exactly compare how the design, UI of design has been done and how the application looks like. So still, what human can see and what human cannot see, that kind of still tools are there, but still challenges are there. Okay. Now let me take one exercise, okay? And then I'll share my one experience. Maybe just one of the challenges you can take and share to your neighbors that if you are from testing background, have you found something very weird bug? You take this challenge quickly for 1 minute. Just talk about one of the weird bug which you found in your career. Any weird bug which is generally will not be encountered, right? Any weird bug? Anyone? Yes, please.
I was testing and I got frustrated and pressed all the keyboard buttons at once and I saw it.
Oh, okay. We are testing on mobile application, and I'll share mine. Okay, so and we're working for Australia client, and who cares about like Australian stalls? Their fingers are big and all right. Who cares about it? Right? We're talking about software, isn't it? And we developed. It went live, and they started facing challenge that because mobile buttons are very small button, right? And they're saying, hey, button is not pressable, which is working for us, but it's not working for them because their fingers are little longer or larger than us, and that's how we increase the size of the buttons. So now tell me, what kind of AI can be used there in that case, right? You have to think from the human perspective also. What kind of client, what kind of customer they're using the application cannot be replaceable by AI, right? But again, as I said, tools are available which can be tested based on design document. Yeah. So this is called smart scripting tools which will generate the AI. Using AI, or the test cases can be generated. I'll talk about one more which is called low code, no code test automation. I explore test trigger in Catalan, which is giving mostly test trigger. I mean, it's very simple and powerful tool, you can say. Just give the URL, or create multiple test cases. You give the workflow like what you want to test, and it will not only test, it will follow step by step, what you do, and it will also capture the screenshot, give you all the results, pass or fail everything, right? So nothing to do as a human. But as I again say, right, as a tester, you have to think of edge cases, different perspective, you can pass different test data. That's something we have to give as an input to the system also, even though it is a low code or no code tool. So test trigger is completely as per my knowledge and experience, still a lot of things to be explored. I'm not taken as a licensed version, so still I cannot claim that, but it's mostly going to be a no-code AI tool. But Catalan having all the flavors, right? In fact, Catalan is in more on both keyword-driven code space. Also now they are also launched the AI tool as well. So where we have code also required, no code also is there where we can generate the test automation and then testing can be done. All things testing will be done in whether you do manually, whether you use automation and AI based tool, whatever you do, right? But it required the infra part, right, which is called cloud. When I say cloud, there was time where I was also put into the training, where we have to learn the cloud as well, like AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, and there are three major, in the industry leading cloud organization, right? And I learned AWS cloud doing the job. But all these, even testing, right? If you have to perform different kind of compatibility testing, cross-platform testing or real devices testing as well, cloud again required here. Not only in development, not only in AI, not only in infra side, even for testing also we require a cloud. So my main topic was today, right, is called all about automation in cloud, right? So we have different platform where we can use this cloud platform where you don't have to really set up a new kind of real device testing and all, right, which can be practiced, which can be used in like I think Samir was talking about the Lambda test, something I think Kishore talking about Lambda test. Which Lambda test is one of the cloud platform where you don't have to use the real devices. While working for this mobile testing for Australia project, right, we were waited for almost 1.5 months to ship their real devices from Australia to India to test the real devices testing, right? But if you have something related to cloud platform where you can have the similar kind of configuration devices and which can be explored and tested, a lot of time and money can be saved because client time, client devices also would have saved. So why cloud? That's something we need to also understand. Every project, right? Now infra is very important. Not only testing but development, even AI also need a cloud platform to be deployed their cloud. So one of the experiencing that you have to have a lot of cloud platform. Like one of the Lambda tests, there is many other platform where we can experience this real device testing on cloud. That's something I'm just covering here in this topic, right? So a couple of leading testing tools, we can say Browser Stack, Source Labs, Lambda test for comprehensive testing, and they are also seamlessly integrated with CI/CD tool. It's not like you are testing only Lambda test or Source Lab or cloud platform. It is also available to integrate with your CI/CD. So you have your automation, run them in the cloud platform, and get the reports, and then your CI/CD also going to be completed along with the cloud platform as well. So cloud is also an important segment in the testing space, which need to explore and also cannot be ignored as well, right? So that's something just wanted to capture this as part of this snapshot. Now, as I said, benefits of cloud testing. In fact, Selenium, right? Let's say Selenium. When we are talking about compatibility testing in different browser, testing different devices, different operating system. I was testing on one of the browser-based application called Universal Orlando back in 2017. And we used to have physical lab, like having a lot of devices, different mobile, different tabs, different laptop, desktop, and we used to test them physically. But today's world, like if you have to set up those kind of things, you require a lot of investment as well for the client, and a lot of efforts required as well, space also required, and we have to go to office to work on them, right? And that's where these all cloud came into picture, and we can set up the grid. Selenium grid we can set up in the cloud, let's say AWS cloud. We can set up the EC2, and then we can set up the grid, and we can execute all these different browser, different devices in different operating systems. So a lot of benefits we have. We reduce the infrastructure cost because of using cloud. So Selenium grid, if you take simple example, Selenium also we can set it up. So I think those who are in Selenium space, they know grid can be set up in cloud using Docker. So Docker can be configured in the EC2 machine. They're all very low cost required to set up EC2, and then I hardly costed five rupees, something like that, to set up our Docker for 1 hour. Yeah, so it's very cheap, very cost effective to run our automation in cloud using this kind of execution and parallel execution. All right, so that's something is going to be benefit for cloud testing as well. Yeah. Now they are the buzzwords that we will be hearing out. What of buzzword we'll be hearing every day, right? In testing space or development space. I'm talking about testing space. This is called shift left testing, shift right testing. What is it? And a lot of things we already know it. Only we have to explore the different dimensions and why the new buzzword has come, right? So if I say shift left, anyone would like to answer it. What is shift left? What is coming to mind?
Only during development or requirements.
Yeah.
So as much early as you can test.
Yeah. And we've been doing it, right? I think we've been doing that. We've been doing like unit testing, we've been doing API testing. Before going to the system, right? We have to do that, all those kind of testing to give the great software build, right? Because quality has to be built. Only testing will not happen sufficiently. Right? Quality has to be built by development, and that's where we can test. We cannot test something which is junky software. So that's where the shift left testing is coming into picture. That yes, you have to testing, you have to automate that also, the shift left testing as well. Like API testing comes into picture, unit testing has come, integration testing has come. Now these all testings will help us to build a good quality product before even going to testing, because testing is when you test and find the bug and then again go back to the similar life cycle, like they have to fix again, you have to test, right? So it increases the cost of the product. So better to have a simpler testing first and then move to the system testing. So that's what this slide is talking about, how to do the SIP testing, nothing but called test early, test often, and build a right product, right? And then it will go find the SIP right testing, which is going to be more on while doing system testing, talk about the compatibility testing, and then real user testing also. Many of the time, customer give us opportunity to do perform testing even in the production as well. Currently, I'm working in a project where our team is performing a parallel testing along with the new system what we built. We migrated from the on-premises server to the cloud server, and we are doing parallel testing in production. Both in production, we are making sure that the old system is working fine. Along with that, current system also is working fine. And we have been testing since last 2 months, and once it will be stable enough, then we'll go to we'll cut down the old system, we'll use the new system, right? So that's where SIP testing is coming into picture. That is also very important from the customer point of view and stability point of view, right? So there's a new buzzword, but we have been doing that. We have been doing since long time. I was like, this also I've tested while working on the bank in Saudi Arabia. Moving towards what is the future roadmap for roadmap skills for tester. Now we are really worried, being a tester, we're really worried right now what we are going to do as a tester. Developer also little worried about all the code written by AI people, then what we are going to do. Right? Similarly, testing also. So, I mean, I've been exploring different areas of testing side. That cloud is one of the area where infrastructure cost can be reduced. We can use cloud platform to do testing. We have to use AI in the scripting part where language is not a barrier in today's world, right? As I was saying, like, we can use prompt to translate the Selenium script into JavaScript for Playwright or Cypress, right? Because these are the two tools also coming up in competition with Selenium. But still, they are not up to par. They are still struggling with launched a lot of features there available, not available there in the Cypress and Playwright. And to do API testing, we can use Docker, Kubernetes, and all, right? So these are the area where we also have to explore. Being a tester only, you should not stop to do test case design, test case execution, writing the script. We also have to use all this cloud platform where infrastructure cost can be reduced, and Docker or Kubernetes like kind of containers can be used where we can test and execute all the automation scripts. So language is not a barrier. Whatever jobs are coming up, let's say any Selenium automation or any Cypress or any Playwright will come. Whatever language comes in today's world, in AI world, we can easily translate, right? And we can just understand the basic syntax, and that will be done, right? Learning is not that difficult in today's world, right? You want to learn also, ChatGPT will tell you what this code is doing exactly. So that's not a challenge. So learning the language should not be challenged. That is one thing, you have to keep learning the different languages, not that detailed, but at least understand the syntax, so that your AI tool will translate this one language to another language. And a lot of cloud platform tools or containers, you have to also learn that. So they are the skill set. If you build it, still testing job will be there in the market and will be still surviving, but with the new skill set. That's something we need to learn. Cloud, AI, scripting, and containers, Docker, Kubernetes, and all. That's something we have to learn. So that's the roadmap for tester. As I said, AI ops also coming up, right? Nowadays, look at like AI engineering job is coming. AI engineer they're looking for prompt engineering kind of new skill set. And huge money also, salary also is there in the market, right? Similarly, we can build ourselves like test architect, test ops kind of role, right? Not just a functional tester, manual tester, or system tester kind of role. So we have to also evolving the role about test ops or architect or estate kind of engineers where not development we are going to do, but testing we are going to do with the automation sort of kind of thing, right? So that is how we have to build ourselves as a tester to be more on technical stuff, include AI, include cloud, include some programming language, master at least one programming language, and get comfortable with other programming language as well. And that's where the new tester role should begin, and that's how we can sustain in the market. We can still survive in the testing market as well. So key takeaway, right? You can say what is the training and direction. We are talking about AI, cloud, continuous testing. That's the future of the quality assurance. And yeah, stay curious, adapt to the technology, foster a mindset of lifelong learning, and we excel in dynamic QA skills. Basically, see, as I say, right? Someone saying like to learn, resource are saying, right? Learn and earn, right? So if you keep learning, of course you'll keep earning. That's the, I think mantra we should be taking out from this session. And I've been learning from being a tester, I shifted from my role from QA manager to agile project manager in 2021, thinking that QA is not having much surplus salary, so let me move out to the new role. But yes, still testing is in my heart. I'm just following the testing, still learning a lot of tools that are exploring different areas of the testing side. And yeah, so keep learning, and that's all from my side, guys. Any questions? If you have, this is me. You can connect with me LinkedIn. I'm very much active on LinkedIn. Not much in Insta and Facebook, but yes, LinkedIn definitely. Connect with me. I'll be like happy to accept your connection and then interact personally as well. Yeah. Thank you. So that's all from my side.